Hello and welcome to another edition of the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show. I'm the voice of the Patriots, Richard Todd, here with Athletic Director and Head Varsity Football Coach Steve LaPrade as the Patriots go on the road to the upstate to take on the defending 5A state champions, Gaffney. And Coach, you know, when you make a road trip like that, that's a long day for the kids on the bus. You got a different kind of schedule completely, but what's the message when you come out of that win over Berkeley, going up to play the defending state champs?
Well, you know, I mean, we were obviously happy anytime you win. You know, Berkeley's, you know, for a long time, they're a little bit down this year. They don't have a real, you know, they're young, and Coach Brown's had a lot of problems. He hadn't really been at practice much, so, you know, I mean, we're obviously glad to win, but as far as a quality win, you know, you got to up your game when you play Gaffney. It's kind of like some of the other teams we played, you know, the 4 teams we played before. I mean, you know, we had the defending state finalists. We had a top, I think Grayson now is top 5 in the country. You know, the team out of Florida is top 30 in the country. Then we got Gaffney, the returning state champs. So, I mean, we knew going in, it's the kind of schedule we wanted. You know, hopefully it's going to pay off for us starting this coming week. You know, we start region play this week. So, hopefully, you know, playing these tougher teams, you know, the only negative, I know Dutch Fork's going through the same thing. They played a real tough schedule. They're beat up. We're beat up. You know, that's the only tough part is you get beat up a little bit. But as far as the, you know, the talent and what your kids play against, there, you know, it's a big, you know, they saw a big difference when we played Berkeley. It was like, you know,
They could tell.
oh my God, yeah, it's big difference.
And when you mentioned being beat up, Zoltan Osborne again not starting. He didn't play in the Berkeley game.
Yep.
Not starting. Trey Ryan in there at quarterback,
Yep.
and that presents some challenges, I guess. And it was noticeable in the first quarter when,
Sure.
when Gaffney was able to put some points on the board
Yep.
and the Patriots couldn't.
Well, people don't understand. It's something you deal with in football, injuries and whatever. But our second string quarterback's been out also. He was out before Zoltan was out. So, you know, we played with a wide receiver at quarter. You know, we stuck almost 50 points on Berkeley with a wide receiver playing quarterback. He came in, you know, we've got a 9th and 10th grader, young guys. The 10th grader was injured all last year, didn't take a snap on junior varsity. Our 9th grader ended up coming in when he couldn't take a snap. He was on B team. We moved him up to JV. So, you know, we got as an 8th grader last year, so we got a 9th and 10th grader. Our first 2 quarterbacks are out. We got a receiver in there, our best receiver, which obviously gives us a hole at receiver. So it's been tough. You know, it is what it is. You know, you can't postpone. You know, I think anymore, if anybody had what we had, they would just postpone the game. That's kind of what you do anymore. If things aren't good, you just postpone. You know, but we're not going to do that. We're going to play ball. So it's been a big time challenge for our team all year. I mean, we've had some tough things, you know, like I said, Coach White, Kevin White's, you know, having a real tough struggle. Obviously, we buried a coach yesterday at, you know, which was our tight end coach. So it's been a struggle.
Well, when you look at the offensive side, I mean, Trey Ryan, he only threw 4 passes during the game, but, I mean, doing a scrappy effort with the offensive line as well. On the defensive side of the ball, the struggles that they had as far as taking on that Gaffney offense.
Yeah, we've really played really strong. Gaffney's offense had something to do with that. They blocked us more than anybody's blocked us really all year. I didn't think Grayson blocked us as well, or Clearwater, Berkeley, or Buford. Gaffney did a really good job. We didn't have our best game on defense, but as I said, Gaffney had a lot to do with that. Gaffney's a ball club. The further they get in the year, it's been their history since 18 whatever when the school started. They're going to get tougher. They're going to make changes, and they're still trying to find themselves. You know, their stud number 1 is out also. So, you know, it's just what you do. It's big boy football. A lot of people don't understand that. You know, I went 2 places today, went and got my hair cut, and went to Lowe's, and both of them, hey, man, y'all not very good this year. I said, no, not really. We're pretty dang good. But so is everybody else we're playing. So hopefully, you know, what I planned, if we can get healthy and kind of get through, we start region play obviously this week, we can kind of get healthy and get going. Hopefully we'll be okay.
Well, the Patriots dealing with injuries and obviously some offensive struggles. Gaffney was up at the end of the first quarter in a matchup of 2 of the best teams in the state. They're going to go to second quarter action coming up as the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show continues next.
years 24,000 miles Holt transmission service, home of the 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty. My staff and I are here to help. Many repairs on transmissions are minor. If a major repair is required, the work will be done professionally by a qualified Holt transmission service technician. 2 years 24,000 miles Holt transmission service, miles of smiles.
Welcome back to the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show. We go to second quarter action with the Patriots on the road at Gaffney, the defending 5A state champs. Coach, we've got to mention great pick six from Nick McGill, that putting some points on the board. When the defense can do that, that's always a boost to the team.
It is. It was good. We ended first quarter 7-7, so we were, you'd rather be ahead, but we were fine going into a very tough situation and being 7-7. Second quarter, best quarter we played probably in a long time. We kind of stuck it to them and played some good ball. In the second quarter, got our offense rolling, kind of settled down a little bit, got rolling. They had a really tough time stopping the run, and they had them all, obviously. They knew we couldn't throw it much, so they packed it in there pretty good. And I thought our offensive line, we've been struggling a little bit trying to get the 5 guys we need in there. I think we know that now, which is a good thing for us. I think we learned that on Friday. We made a little adjustment early in the game. We had one of our guys, he was just getting killed by one of their studs. So we made a little adjustment. Kid came in, did a really good job. So I think we got our guys, which is, that's a step in the right direction for us. We're very young up front on the offensive line, or was 4 weeks ago. So I think that's a huge step for us offensively.
Is that a side effect from the teams that you played beforehand to start to have a cohesive
I think so. It's tough when you're playing. You're learning to play ball. There's times this year we started a freshman and 2 sophomores on the offensive line.
Wow.
And it's tough when you're going against guys that are going to be playing in the SEC next year. You're trying to learn, and you got some, Godzilla in front of you breathing fire and snot coming out of his nose, and you're 14 years old and you're supposed to block him and get him out of the hole for the running back. It's tough, and I knew that, and I kept telling y'all, we got to grow up, and I think we grew up Friday, even in the loss in the end. Obviously I can't stand losing, but I think it was the first time I felt good with our team. We went in at halftime. They were excited. They had a good job. They went into a very volatile, if you ever played at Gaffney, they probably had 6,000 people there at least.
And it was their homecoming, too.
It was, but it's a great environment, man. A great environment to play ball. A lot of people don't like going to Gaffney. I like going to Gaffney. We were eating and people were asking us football questions. That's football. It's all about football. If you're down here, they're asking you about the climate or whatever, how cold the ocean water is. But you go to Gaffney, they're going to ask you a football question. So it was good. Obviously, I would have liked to have won, but and we had the opportunity. We should have won, but we came up a little bit short. But I think we're starting to mold as a team a little bit. Hopefully, my plan is working out. I guess we'll see this coming week.
But you mentioned the second quarter, you could see it starting to come together.
Yeah.
And then, we mentioned the fact that Nick McGill had that pick six. He also got an unsportsmanlike penalty at the end of that. And in fact, the Patriots got a few costly penalties.
We did.
Some of them earned, some of them may be questionable.
Yeah, but we got to stop that. You hate to, but I'm all about good teams. I think you need to sometimes watch what good teams do. And I told our coaching staff, it's Dutch Fork's not really better than us. I don't think. They don't make stupid mistakes at the wrong time. And I think championship teams don't do that. You're going to make some. We're an aggressive team. We're going to have X amount of penalties a year game, but doing stupid things and after the play or running your mouth stuff. Taunting that kills you against a good team. And we got a block late, which probably, that would have put the game away. We were right down there driving, and that was a 15-yarder. We got a real costly penalty interference call, which I thought was kind of bogus. But you're on the road, man. You're going to get those calls.
Right, and the home team's going to get a little bit of those
sure.
calls, but also the fact that, like you said, when you're playing that kind of competition, you got to play mistake-free football.
You do.
But the Patriots had a great second quarter and had a lead going into halftime on the road at the 5A state champions, Gaffney. We'll talk about the second half with third quarter highlights coming up as the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show continues, guys.
With bacon and cheese, it's the new Signature Club, remixed by Zaxby's.
Welcome back to the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show. The Patriots lead on the road at Gaffney, the defending 5A state champions. And as we go to third quarter highlights, Coach, you mentioned how excited the team was at the end of the first half, going in the locker room. And what's your message to them and that enthusiasm they had? I mean, you felt like the team was really coming together in that second quarter especially.
I did. I thought, it was the first time all year, when you're young, there's such a difference between a 14, 15-year-old and a 17, 18-year-old. It's been tough to get that mix. We've got the seniors and we've got so many young kids. It's tough to get that mix no matter how much you preach and until they get in the fight together and maybe you pull those young ones a little bit and then they're those young ones probably a little bit more excitable sometimes once they kind of cut loose than the older ones. So I kind of felt like we got some chemistry a little bit. We've had some which everybody's dealing with a lot of discipline things. I talk to coaches every day, and it's just, I've said this before, mentioned society is not on our side. If you're if you're a military person or you're a coach right now, there's a lot of things you got to correct, and a lot of kids don't listen and don't want to go by rules. They kind of want to do their own thing. So I know across the country, and us too, we've had some people we've had to let go due to discipline, and I know this is happening everywhere in the country. So, it's helped us a little bit getting down to the nitty-gritty to our guys that really love football and want to be there.
Well, and that discipline leads to the mistakes we were talking about you can't make when you're playing a team of the level of Gaffney. Right. At the same time, you've had issues this year in the third quarter. Mm-hmm. Almost every game, the opposing team has really controlled the ball in the third quarter, moved it and scored. Mm-hmm. Same thing kind of popped up again and again.
It did. Wasn't as long. I think it's about a 4.5 minute drive, but they did. They drove the ball on us in the third quarter. It's not what you want to see. I have no idea. As coaches, I've about tried everything I know. I just guess it's just one of those things that's happening. I don't think our kids come out and don't want to play. I can't put my finger on it, but that's my job to fix that. That's what they pay me to do. So I'm surely not going to sit here and blame it on a bunch of teenagers. So we got to fix that situation. We got to come out and play a little bit better second half.
Now, how beat up was Trey as far as, he was, only throwing 4 passes for the game, but, he's under a lot of pressure. Mm-hmm. The offense still performing well, though, there in the second and the third quarter. Yeah. And you also had Christian Wilson with the field goal that added points, and you have a 10-point lead at the end of the third. But offensively, how were you feeling? And defensively, because you had held them right at that point to just 21 points going into the fourth quarter.
Well, I felt good. Somebody told me we were going to score 31 points against Gaffney and lose. I would have said, you're crazy. We got a lot of guys playing banged up a little bit. I would be willing to say 90% of America, high school kids that are playing football, would not be playing like about 4 or 5 of our guys are. They just love football. It's Fort Dorchester. We're all about.
They want to be on the field.
Yeah, we want. It's all about playing hard, playing fast, playing physical, and that's what we do. Sometimes we get on the bad end of that. And some of the people we've been playing, they bring a wallop too. They hit hard too, so it takes a little toll on your body. We obviously practice hard too, so it's been tough. We're trying to get a little bit better. Hopefully we are every day. We've had a lot of guys out. I didn't take six guys with us Friday night. We had 6 guys out. Like I said, the quarterback situation's been almost quarterback by vote here, and but like I said, last 2 weeks we've had a wide receiver play quarterback, and we scored 80 points.
I know, and Trey Ryan, he went 3 for 5 with 31 yards and a couple of picks, but he also gained 41 yards on the ground and a touchdown as well. Davion Brown with 20 attempts for 65 yards and a touchdown, and Zion Reynolds had 12 attempts for 52 yards and a touchdown. So spreading it around and pretty good offense right there as well.
Yeah, it is. You know, it's tough. I mean, any head coach that's watching this show knows, like, oh wow. I mean, to put an offense in and put another quarterback in and build an offense is hard. It's tough, you know, and our guys worked hard, our coaches worked hard, kids worked hard. It's tough, you know, and it's tough, you know, it's just tough. And when you play good opponents and they kind of got a decent idea of what you're going to do, it's even tougher to run the ball. So I felt good about our offensive line. I thought they got in there and rooted them out of there pretty good. They had a bunch. They had more in there than we had, and we kind of got it done. So I think, you know, we'll improve. We'll hopefully be a little bit better this week, and we start region play. So hopefully we'll play a little bit better.
Patriots take a 10-point lead into the fourth quarter at Gaffney, the defending 5A state champions. Fourth quarter highlights, and we'll talk about what's to come as the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show continues next.
With bacon and cheese, it's the new Signature Club, remixed by Zaxby's.
And welcome back to the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show. The Patriots with a 10-point lead on the road at the defending 5A state champion Gaffney, and it's homecoming for Gaffney. Huge crowd, hostile environment. Patriots have that 10-point lead. There were several chances in the fourth quarter that you could have put another score on the board, and that maybe would have, sauced the game away. There were some calls and some mistakes. And just talk about the points that you didn't put on the quarter in the fourth.
Well, we got a touchdown, called back, which would have put the game away. We went up 17. It hurt us. I mean, we walked in the end zone. Obviously, I'm sure the official thought he saw something, and when you're on the field, of course, you don't like it, but you don't know. But then when you watch film, you're like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. So it really hurts now that I've watched the film.
Sure.
It really wasn't a penalty at all. So that hurt. That hurt bad. That hurt bad.
And offensively, just trying to move the ball in the fourth quarter and put those final points on the board. How'd you feel about the offense?
I mean, I felt good. I mean, we got down there a couple times, and like I said, costly penalties, and I just knew if we got one more score, the game was over. You know, and we had our opportunities a couple times, and couldn't make it. It was good to see Christian knock that field goal through. Mm-hmm. That was the first one he's made this year, so that's a big plus. That's a big plus for him. So that makes me feel a little bit better about lining up and trying field goal. So we did miss extra point. Trey kind of fumbled snap. It was a good snap. So, that kind of hurt us down toward the end. Mm-hmm. And even at the end, with about 40 seconds left, we had them backed up. We had a block punt on, and oh my God, it was you watch the film, it's even worse. It was pretty bad in real time because I thought we had it, and then when I watch the film, it really kills me. I mean, we probably should have blocked the punt and then walked in the end zone, and we would have won even that way too. So sometimes, it's been a tough year. Sometimes things don't seem to be meant to be. So I guess that's one of those times that just wasn't meant to be for us to win. And
defensively, there you are, fourth down and long right near the end of the game.
Oh, yeah. We gave up a big, it was. We knew what the play was. We told the kids the play. That's what bothers you, I guess, the most, because I tell you all the time, you can't blame a 15, 16, 17-year-old, but when you tell them what the play is, it kind of hurts you a little bit. We kind of knew what they were going to run. We told them, and they still ran it and got it on us. So, yeah, that one hurt because it was just something that should not have happened. Our guy's good enough to take care of that, and he knew the play on top of that. So, yeah, that one hurt.
Well, a heartbreaking loss for the Patriots at Gaffney, 35-31. Still a great performance by the Patriots in a hostile environment against the defending 5A state champs. And as we record this, Coach, we're still uncertain about what's going to happen with the game that's supposed to be at Ashley Ridge because we have Hurricane Ian moving in this direction. And right now it's sort of all in flux. Practice schedules, when the game could happen, and all that, I guess.
Yeah, well, it kind of stinks for Ashley Ridge, too. And they're a district school, so we're not trying to put the screws to them, but obviously a lot of schools now have have changed their games to Wednesday night. Wow, you know, I've only played once on Thursday in my 45 years of coaching, but you know, obviously, you know, we started discussing this Saturday. We knew the storm was coming and what our options were. You know, Wednesday for us, unfortunately, wasn't even you know, I walked in my door Saturday morning at 5 a.m.
That's a long night.
You know, so Saturday's kind of shot for the kids too. And then Sunday, obviously, we had Jack Ratcliffe's funeral. Sunday, we usually come in on Sunday and lift and watch films. But that wasn't, I just didn't think it was appropriate or, you know, time-wise. So we're kind of already a day and a half behind where we normally are anyway. And then, you know, the chance of playing, some of the schools I think are playing Wednesday. I mean, that's not even a viable option for us. And I hate it for Ashley Ridge because obviously they, you know, if it gets moved back and we have to play next Monday or whatever, you know, that stinks for them because they, you know, we obviously have another game Friday, but ours is a non-region game where they've got us and West Ashley back-to-back, which are region games, which, you know, are playoff things. So I understand for them. I'm sure they're frustrated, but I mean, I can't. I mean, I would, you know, I would be stupid. I mean, we just hadn't had a chance, you know. And I'm not, you know, I mean, I'm not putting some of the schools around, but they played a school I don't think that's scored 10 points all year, and we played Defendant State champs, and it's tough, you know. But right now it's set up for maybe we would move it to Thursday if the storm looks like it's coming in later, which doesn't really look too good. You know, we could play Saturday, we could play Sunday. I guess the worst would be Monday, but I'm open to all those. I'm obviously not open to Wednesday because that's not even an option for us because we just, I mean, I can't imagine how you can prepare for a 5A game in 2 days anyway. But,
well, folks, that's why we want you to keep in touch with the Fort Dorchester social media channels, Facebook, the athletic website. We'll let you know as soon as we get an update. And the Patriots go on the road and lose 35-31, beat up and playing in a hostile environment against the defending 5A state champs. Patriots at 2-3 right now, but as Coach mentioned, region play starts against Ashley Ridge. Keep in touch with our social media channels, and we'll let you know when you can come out and support your Patriots. And we thank you for watching this edition of the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show.
Time creates your life. You never know what happens tomorrow.